Ninja gained over 90,000 subscribers during the stream.
I get about 20,000 per month off ads, subscribers, and donations.
$77,500 a month just from subs.
They offered to pay me over $300,000 to play the game one day.
In December 2020, there were over 9 million people streaming on Twitch.tv. Kids nowadays grow up looking up to their favorite Twitch streamers as much as movie stars or superheroes. Of those 9 million streamers, less than 0.01% of them will ever make enough money to cover their monthly rent. I'm Jed, aka Snow, and I'm part of that 0.01%. This is the story of how I became the world's greatest streamer. So today is January 11th. In a few more days, it's my birthday. I'll be 33. So come with me, I've got a massive announcement for you guys today. Hi, if you don't know, I'm Jedediah Tan, aka Snow, in the world of Twitch and YouTube. And 9 months ago, I started a little World of Warcraft website called Classic Roadcraft. Fast forward to today, it is now the go-to website for World of Warcraft players in my niche. I guess I'm what you would call the bottom level of success when it comes to Twitch and YouTube. For the last 8 months, I've been making about $3,000 a month between my website, Twitch, and YouTube. And my next step is taking it further. So we got to go from 3,000 to 10,000 to 100,000 a month. And I hope that you guys will be here for the journey. There'll be ups, there'll be downs, there'll be successes, failures, a lot of experimentation, but you guys will really see this is what it's like to be an up-and-coming streamer in this hyper competitive space. And here's the thing, guys, by the way, not everyone is a ninja or a shroud or a Pokimane. It's a world of difference being a small up-and-coming streamer and the big guys right at the top. It's a completely different place to be. So how did I get here? Well, I guess you could call it Dharma, as Dr. K says.
Like, Dharma is what allows you to say whether I have a good day or I have a bad day, I have to keep streaming. It's not about whether it hurts or not. I need to do it for them.
So what is my Dharma? Well, that's an epic story. So an epic story requires an epic scene. And I want to take you guys to one of my favorite views in my neighborhood here in Seoul, South Korea. So let's go. Today's story is the story of how I quit university at 18, moved halfway around the world to become a pro snowboarder, started my own snowboard company, lost my income when coronavirus hit, then took a risky opportunity to become a full-time Twitch streamer in the months that followed. Now, growing up, I always hated the question, what do you want to do when you grow up? At 16, I didn't know what I wanted to eat for lunch, much less what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I picked the path everyone else told me to pick. I got good grades, got accepted into a good university, and was set to go down the road of getting a degree and finding a boring but hopefully well-paid office job to spend the next 50 years of my life. But I always felt there was something missing. I wasn't happy, but I wasn't sad either. I just was. There had to be more to life than this. And one fine day it happened. My college housemate came into my room and said, "Let's go skiing." Of course, I said yes, and that college break I went snowboarding for the very first time. I was a terrible snowboarder. I could barely stand up and I fell over constantly. However, something in my brain clicked. When I was snowboarding, everything just felt right. It was like nothing in the world mattered as long as I was snowboarding. Fast forward to my second semester and it had been weeks since the ski trip, but I still couldn't get snowboarding out of my head. All I could think about was that amazing feeling I got when I was strapped into a snowboard. In that moment, I realized that for the first time in my life, I had found something I truly loved to do. I finally had an answer for the question, what do you want to do when you grow up? I wanted to snowboard. Some people go their whole lives not being able to find something that truly makes them happy. But at 18, I found something that I knew with every fiber of my being, I loved to do this. I loved snowboarding. So I made the choice. I called my parents and told them I was quitting university. I was going to work for 6 months, then move to Canada and become a pro snowboarder. My parents initially thought I was insane. Of course they did. Even I thought it sounded insane. I was born in Malaysia, grew up in Australia, and I had 2 days of snowboard experience under my belt. However, they came around to the idea when they saw how much this crazy dream meant to me. Every parent has their faults, but the one thing my parents never did was tell me I couldn't do something just because I wasn't talented enough or smart enough. As long as I was happy and working towards my dreams, then they were happy. I have great parents like that, and I'm forever thankful for the chance that they gave me. 6 months later, in December 2006, I moved to Whistler, Canada, but I had 2 days of snowboard experience under my belt in 30 centimeters deep Canadian snow. I fell constantly, couldn't even make it down a beginner run, but I also felt that for once in my life, I was chasing something that meant something to me. I was happy. Success didn't come right away though. I ended up failing in my first year. This is the shack jump in Whistler, Canada. I came up short on it. It's a 40-foot jump and I fell about 2 stories to hard ice and dislocated my knee. I tore my ACL ligament and had to get knee reconstruction. After surgery, I spent the next year relearning how to walk properly again. Yet, weirdly enough, that entire time, I was still happy to be chasing my dream. Just having a real goal in life made the difference, and I met a lot of friends and made a lot of crazy friendships along the way.
Alright, so we just woke up and wow. Check that out.
It's Christmas Day. Got any words to say?
Just the best Christmas, man. It's quality.
Yeah? It's not a bad way to spend Christmas. 2 years later, I came back to Whistler and proceeded to spend the next 5 years of my life chasing the snow. I spent 250 days a year traveling between Canada and New Zealand to snowboard year-round, and by the end of those 5 years, I had made it. Blood, sweat, tears, and a second knee surgery later, I had finally picked up the skills I needed to be a pro snowboarder. But then I found out I didn't want to be a pro snowboarder. The problem is I love to snowboard, but not the part where sponsors controlled the type of snowboarding I could and couldn't do. I wanted freedom. I wanted the freedom to do what I love to do and not have anyone tell me I couldn't do it my way. I had the goal almost right, but not quite. So I took the lemons life gave me and gave the lemons back.
All right, I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons. What am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day and thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons. I'm gonna get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down.
Finding people. He says what we're all thinking.
I took all my skill and snowboard training over the previous 5 years and started a snowboard training company. I wrote blogs, made training videos, learned to run Facebook marketing ads, and eventually that little blog and training site grew. I launched our first online training pack for $47 and it made $3,000 in the first few days. I had finally done it. I had the freedom to do what I loved for a living. Happily ever after? Not quite. Fast forward to last year and COVID happened. The snowboard industry, along with every other tourist industry, was destroyed. Suddenly, I was faced with an uncertain future, living on savings, with no clue when snowboarding would pick back up again. Here's where you guys joined this journey. Earlier, I said I had never had that feeling of truly loving something as much as I love snowboarding. But there's one thing that's always come close. Video games. See, my family moved to Australia when I was 10, and with the move, I lost all my friends and everyone I knew. It took until I was almost 18 before I really got my confidence back, along with all the typical bullying that goes with a new kid just trying to fit in a new school. It was rough for a while, but throughout that time, video games were one of the few things I always enjoyed. I freely admit I was an incredibly nerdy kid. I remember being in grade 5 and being proud to have the only Nintendo 64 GoldenEye cartridge in my school that had every single cheat code mission completed. I remember playing Zelda Ocarina of Time over an entire summer until I found every single heart container in the game. I remember getting Pokemon Red, then deciding I needed to save up and buy another Game Boy so that I could also get Pokemon Blue and trade all the unique Pokemon to myself. I remember playing Counter-Strike 1.6 and the countless hours practicing my AK and AWP skills, wanting to become a professional Counter-Strike player. I remember playing EverQuest and accidentally teaching myself to touch type because it was the only way to communicate with other players in the game. I remember my dad driving me to the mall the day before World of Warcraft officially launched so that I could try convince them to sell my pre-order one day early and get a head start on leveling. And yet, with all these memories and all the love I have for video games, I always just sat and watched the video game industry grow from the outside, too scared to really jump in. I watched all my previous non-gamer friends convert to gaming when Halo became huge. I watched when Call of Duty commentaries were the biggest genre on YouTube.
Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this video is designed to give you the most overpowered classes in Black Ops 2. A quick note before we get into them.
I watched when streaming emerged with the OGs like Wreckful and Soda Poppin leading the way.
Hold on, I have it.
Oh my, I just got a donation from your guy. I'm high. I haven't clicked it yet. We don't know how much it's gonna be.
Whoa, man.
Dude.
I watched when I attended 3 sold-out stadiums for the League of Legends World Finals in Korea, Germany, and the US. Then I watched COVID hit. And as I sat at home playing World of Warcraft Classic, I stumbled headfirst into a small, risky opportunity to take the video game knowledge I had and turn it into my dream job. Whew. Alright, well, what about the view, huh? So this is my favorite view of my neighborhood here in Seoul, South Korea. And as we look at this amazing view, I can only think about the answer to the question, what is my Dharma? Well, my Dharma is, I just want to prove to both myself and you guys that even an old, boring video game nerd like myself can still break into this crazy competitive streamer space. It's still possible to jump in at 33 years old, and with hard work and the right ideas, you can still make it on Twitch. I started with no following, no big streamers to help prop up my channel at the start, a 0 subscriber YouTube channel in an already oversaturated niche, but I've been able to build everything that I have so far from scratch, with a lot of work and a lot of trial and error. This journey has seen me get Twitch partnered after a month of streaming. I've reached my full-time income goal by the second month. I got my first 1,000 Twitch subs. I got my first 100,000 YouTube video. Launched a successful merch line, got a viral live stream fails post, got that post deleted after being falsely accused of faking subs for clout on live stream fails, and that's just the start of my journey so far. We're only at the beginning, and I still have to tell all of those stories and more, as well as all the stories that's coming up next. So this is a story of how I became the world's greatest streamer. See you guys in episode 2. I paid $170 for this, guys. You guys better Twitch Prime.
Yeah, Twitch Prime, guys.
You heard the guy, Twitch Prime.